of we could work together happened. Batman versus Superman kicked in, right? They're merging. Oh my God, they're merging. I said that's an easy way to write off an ending. I mean, obviously these two beings couldn't kill each other, but it was such a cop out. The Ring versus the Grudge. Now it's actually called. Like, let me look this up. Like Sadako versus Kayako. That's what it's known from the original. Now, I was a huge fan of The Ring. Freaked me out. The American version when it first came out. The reason why was because I was still living with my mom at the time, and I had a television that looks exactly like the one that was used in the movie, the big old-fashioned TVs with that, with the back, not that wasn't flat at all. It sat on top of like an armoire that was right in front of my bed. So right after driving to the theater to go see this movie, I drive home and I go to bed and I'm laying down, and right in front of me, right on top of the like looking right down, as this camera's looking down at me right now, as this TV is looking at me like. And at any moment, I'm thinking, yeah, that thing's about to pop on, and I'm about to be trapped in this room. This is gonna happen. Go to sleep fast, Chris. Go to sleep, because you're about to go night. If that TV pops on, I'm freaking out, right? Then I saw like YouTubers would prank their friends with stuff like that. I probably would have had a heart attack. Then I saw The Grudge. I'm thinking, oh wow, it's getting hot. Japan, and we're getting a lot of these American adaptations of these movies from Japan, right? It's going, ooh, this is some scary stuff, and I liked it. I liked the concept of it. But I didn't like it as much as I liked The Ring. I mean, everything about the way they did it, the eeriness of it, the origins and whatnot, was just super creepy. But The Ring, The Grudge didn't really execute it as well as it did. But the one thing I did think that The Grudge had over The Ring was the sound that the villain made, that and that bug-eyed look. Then I learned that was the actual actress from the first two original ones that was done in Japan. That she later did it a couple times. That was actually kind of cool, but I didn't like the sequels to as much. I think the sequel to The Ring was better than the sequel to The Grudge. The fact that they got Sarah Michelle Gellar at the beginning of The Grudge was kind of a cool way to start it off. I think that had one thing over the second Ring, but after the first ones, you just couldn't. The follow-ups weren't that good, and they could have been, but they really weren't. Did they deserve a part 3? No, neither one of them did. Even though the part 3 of The Grudge had an interesting twist. Now, why do I bring this up before what we're really talking about is The Ring versus The Grudge? Now, I've been campaigning for an American version of this ever since I heard that they were doing this in Japan. I'm like, oh man, this is it. Maybe a year or two from now, we're gonna get an American version of it. Now, in the Grudge, and I'm gonna stick with The Grudge and The Ring because I really can't remember which one is Sadako and which one is Kayako at sometimes. So with The Grudge, from what I remember, you have a young lady who was raised by a mother who was dabbling in the mystic Sith arts, raising her children some magic, right? And when they went out into the real world and was living their normal lives, got caught up in a death that was fueled by rage. And I think if I remember correctly, the oldest daughter was in a relationship with a man, cheated on him. He found out, killed their son, and committed suicide in a moment of pure anger and pure rage. But because the way it was explained in the sequel, I think, because she was raised in these mystical arts and everything by her mother and whatnot, because of the way she died, a curse was put upon that house that she was murdered in. So her ghost, still disfigured in form in the way she died, was crawling around the house. I think, if I remember correctly, I think she was throttled to death and windpipe crushed. That's why that noise was coming out, because maybe she choked on her own blood. She gargled. and that was permanent. She was on the ground when it happened, and she couldn't crawl away as he was killing her. The son was drowned, and I guess her anger and because of the way she was killed, and her anger and her fear and that rage may turn her and the son into a curse. If I remember correctly, the husband was in the house as well, but I think overall, I don't think he does much to you except his rage pretty much is still there, infecting people. So from the way I get it, the curse is in the house, and it's always attacking the rage. I think it's like a revenge thing. Like it's the wife and the revenge for what the husband did to her and the son. And since the rage is still in the house, his rage is still there. Anybody who walks into the house gets that rage infected onto them and imprinted onto them. And the second that rage is imprinted on somebody and and on a living vessel, the mother and the son are activated. They're like, it's almost like their killer is back, and we got to kill him because of what he did to us. For The Ring, the American version was you watch the videotape, you get a phone call from Samara, I think her name was, and she tells you that within 7 days you're gonna die. The Japanese version was 2 days. You had 2 days to live, which is kind of cooler to me because it was like, yeah, this is gonna happen. But the American version, for some reason, was 7 days. I think they psychologically wanted to just kind of torture you, which kind of sucked. You got 7 days to really think about it, but it gave you enough time to fight it off. I guess that made more sense. Samara, though, was very strong, very powerful. And the thing I liked about her was that it didn't really explain how her powers, where they came from. It was just she was born with them. I don't know if the Japanese version was different, if they explained it better in Ringu, but she was just a dark person. I don't know if there was some kind of curse from her original parents, and it came to her from birth. But her strength was there even before her death, and then the way she died and her rage imprinted itself onto a videotape, and that you watch, and then you're instantly cursed. And the only way to break the curse is if the American version, you make a copy of the tape and you show it to someone else. You have to spread the curse to save yourself from the curse. So it was an easier way to, if you could figure it out, to survive The Ring. But there was no way to survive The Grudge. When I saw these two, I was very excited about it because I'm thinking, okay, this whole concept, I saw the trailer of it, was stupid as hell. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do a Freddy vs. Jason ripoff, and and in the end of it, like Batman versus Superman, at the end they're gonna probably just team up, right, and go after the heroes in the movie. But it didn't really take that type of a turn, and in a way it did, and it didn't. So you're dealing with a team, like right here, of people. You have a medium, the boy who figures out or comes up with a plan to put them both together, and his sidekick, who I believe she's blind and she can see the supernatural. And the one thing that I'm not surprised in the Japanese version of it, that you have this medium who not only I guess he can sense ghosts or anything like that, but he can also do this kind of a spell, kind of almost like when a priest does the cross over the body, kind of a thing. He writes in the air. I don't know if he's writing words, and then he's able to ward off and push away anything supernatural away from him. So if a curse is trying to get to him, he just throws it away, and it can't for some reason get past that barrier. I noticed that he wasn't stupid enough to go in the house at first, though, so that was kind of funny. But whenever he was told by the blind girl who could see these ghosts, no matter where they were, so it was funny. It was a good team up. You have the person who could see them, so they can't sneak up on you, and then the person who could dispel them away. But I thought, okay, that's one reason why there's not going to be an American version of this, because they're not going to introduce something like that. And we've done this before. The Dream Warriors and Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street. We had a Friday the 13th where Jason had to fight off a girl who had telekinesis powers, which when I was younger was very cool, but it just wouldn't translate now. It's just this is something that's like made for TV, or that would be a cartoon. Right. I mean, there are no telekinetics in the real world. The reasons why The Grudge and The Ring in America worked so well is because it was a regular person who had to use their brain and figure out how to offset the curse, or to beat the curse that was imprinted onto them. The girl who was dealing with the grudge moved next door to that house, and I never saw her walk into that house. I don't remember. I don't know if I missed that. Other people did in the neighborhood, but for some reason the house was after her. It just imprinted itself onto her. I don't know if it's because because anybody who lives next door is going to eventually get it or something like that. I don't know. But for some reason that house had its eyes set on her. So because they were already dealing with that, and then they get a phone call from these girls who were dealing with this other curse, they were like, in the trailer, that's where you see that bright idea. We will have these curses fight each other and pin them against each other. And theoretically, it will offset. When I saw that trailer, I was like, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. We all know what's going to happen. They're going to Batman versus Superman this thing. And they're going to work together and then go after these people that are trying to mess with both of these curses. But then I watched the movie, and when it got to that point of how they planned this out, and I have to say, as ridiculous as this stuff was, that's when the genius started. I'm in my bed, I'm my headphones on, I'm watching it on my laptop. My fiance's trying to sleep. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this might work. I'm getting really excited and scared at the same time. This movie was giving me the feels that I was getting when I first saw The Ring, when I first saw The Grudge. Like, this could actually work. Oh my God, this. I'm seeing this possibility here. Why? And I'm gonna tell you why. Here's the theory, and that's where my goat theory is gonna come in and destroy it. So you have one girl who watched the tape already and was being haunted by the ring. One girl who was being stalked by the grudge, the house. Here we go. Take the girl who was already being stalked by the ring tape, and she walks into the grudge house. All right? With a girl who's already being stalked by the grudge house. While you're inside, the rage imprints itself onto the new girl that's already being cursed by the ring. While you're in the house, they bring in a little TV and a VCR, play the tape for the other girl who's already being cursed by the grudge house, and let her watch the tape for the first time. Here's where the theories come in. His theory was, this girl right here who has never watched the tape before will then be marked by Samara, the ring. And throughout the movie, it was proven many times, when you're marked by the ring, you're going to die in 2 days. If you try to beat the curse, offset the curse, stop the curse, anything, you get killed. Because there was another girl the original girl who saw the tape, her bright idea was, I'm going to die in a day or in a couple of hours. Let me just commit suicide and I die on my terms. The second you try that, to interfere with Samara, she comes after you immediately. Second somebody else tries to kill you, she kills them immediately. I gave you 2 days, but now it's going to happen now. Anything that you do or someone else does, anybody tries to interfere with me, I'm coming now. That's what happens. So the theory was, since the grudge works faster, it's instant almost, unless you can escape the house and then they'll come after you slowly. But while you're in the house, while you're in there, you're not leaving without dying. You're gonna die instantly. So the theory was, the person who was newly affected by the grudge, who just watched the tape for the first time, is now about to get killed by the ring, by Samara. Now she's going to give you 2 days. But the second the Grudge, Kadako, I think that's Kadako. I don't know which was which. The second the Grudge comes out and tries to kill her instantly, Samara, the ring, is like, no, she's mine. Just like Freddy Krueger, she's mine. It's like, no. She got 2 days. What are you doing? Because the little boy comes out and he's like, oh, you're going to die now. Me and my mom are going to kill you. And then the ring is like, who are you? And that little look that the little boy gave to the TV, like, who are you? Like, he looked scared. Like, what is this? Like he was still like a little boy in his mind, I guess. What is this? I know what I can do. I know what my mom can do. I know what this house can do. What is this? And that look on his face, and instantly that ring hair came out, grabbed him, sucked him up. And I was like, 1 point for Samara. The ring's winning this. Then I thought, well, okay, home field advantage, right? Wouldn't it be the Grudge to lose because of home field advantage? You're inside of the house. I would think overall the ring should have lost. Now, when the reversed happened, then the ring was like, all right, you're interfering with my process now. I don't know what's going on with this house, but you're interfering with my process, so I'm going to kill you now. And the second that happened, so what I think happened with the TV is the second that the TV was played in the house, everybody in the house saw it, meaning the ghost, the rage, the man, meaning the house itself, the rage, the killer, the husband. I think they're all seeing and all knowing, even if they're in another room, they're there. The little boy proved it right there. I think the little boy saw the TV straight up. And when the little boy showed up after seeing the TV, he tried to kill the girls that were in the house because of the way the Grudge works. And when Samara instantly took him out, you activated the mother. What are you doing to my son? Right there off the bat, she failed to protect her son at life. So if you can do something to her son, even at death, you activated the mother. Like, what are you doing to my child? And you're in my house, so I'm coming after you. So then that fight between her and, she comes out, she finds the tape. They throw the medium. Now the medium has enough guts to come into the house and try to do something. Now that everybody's being distracted, she throws the ring tape at the Grudge. I'm like, what the hell is that gonna do? It's like when you run out of bullets on your gun and you throw it. And she caught it and she crushed it. I'm like, you messed up right there. Now you're interfering with my curse straight up. I should burn this damn house to the ground. And then they start fighting, and little by little, then she grabs Samara and she drags her away. I'm like, oh, whoa, you got her. That should be it. But then you think, they're dead. What can you do? And they're fighting each other, but nothing's really happening. At least in Freddy versus Jason, when you bring Freddy into the real world, you're on Jason's turf. He can kill you. If he can kill you in the real world, you're pretty much banished to hell, and it takes Freddy a long time to come back, if at all. Jason's always been, you can take Jason into the dream world and mess with him, but you can't kill him. His curse is on. He's undying. You can kill him in the real world, you can kill him in the dreams, but he won't die. Even Freddy admitted that. Why won't you die? So I felt like something like that was bound to happen. Then as the story went along, then their version of we could work together happened. Batman versus Superman kicked in, right? They're merging. Oh my God, they're merging. I said that's an easy way to write off an ending. Obviously these two beings couldn't kill each other. But it was such a cop-out. I've just been invited to Sundance. I've been doing movie reviews for a while now on YouTube. I have my own blog. For the past couple of years, all I do is I talk movies, talking through the media. We were invited.